Burkina Faso's 36-year-old president, Ibrahim Traoré, has once again shocked the world. Just months after defying France, strengthening alliances with Mali and Niger, and repositioning Africa in the global spotlight, whispers now emerge from Europe's corridors of power. Traoré could be nominated for the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize. But what does this really mean? Is the Nobel Committee finally acknowledging Africa's fight for sovereignty? Or is this nomination just another political move in a game controlled by the West? Stay with us as we uncover the untold truth behind Traoré's surprising link to the Nobel Prize, the global reactions it has triggered, and what this means for Africa's future. To understand why Ibrahim Traoré's nomination is so controversial, we need to first understand the Nobel Peace Prize itself. Founded in 1895 by Alfred Nobel, the inventor of dynamite, the prize was meant to honor those who promote peace and brotherhood among nations. But over the years, the award has been criticized for being deeply political. Think about it. In 2009, Barack Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize just months after taking office, even as the U.S. expanded military operations in Afghanistan. In 2019, Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed was awarded for signing peace deals, only for his country to later descend into civil war. Meanwhile, African revolutionaries like Thomas Sankara or even Nelson Mandela during apartheid's peak were never recognized at the time they needed it most. So the Nobel Peace Prize is not just about peace. It's about sending messages, shaping narratives, and rewarding leaders who align with global powers. And now, the fact that Ibrahim Traoré's name is being whispered around the committee? That's earth-shattering. Ibrahim Traoré rose to power in September 2022 after leading a coup that toppled the previous government. At just 34 years old, he became the youngest president in the world. But unlike many leaders before him, Traoré refused to play by the old rules. He expelled French military bases from Burkina Faso, ending decades of colonial dominance. He nationalized resources like gold and minerals, declaring they would serve the people, not foreign corporations. He helped establish the Alliance of Sahel States, a united front with Mali and Niger against external interference. These bold moves transformed him from a local figure into a continental symbol. To African youth, Traoré represents hope, a leader unafraid to challenge the West. And that's exactly why whispers of a Nobel nomination are shocking. Because historically, the West has punished such leaders, not celebrated them. As soon as the news broke, reactions poured in from across the world. In France, officials in Paris reportedly scoffed, calling it an insult to the legacy of the Nobel Prize. For them, Traoré is a threat, not a peacemaker. In the United States, some analysts suggested the nomination is a way to soften Traoré's image globally. But behind closed doors, Washington fears his growing ties with Russia and China. On the other hand, Moscow and Beijing welcomed the idea. Both nations have strengthened partnerships with Burkina Faso, offering military and economic support. For them, Traoré's recognition is proof that Africa is finally rising. And across Africa, from Ghana to Nigeria, from Kenya to South Africa, the news sparked celebration. Social media erupted with hashtags like Tascha Traoré for Nobel and Africa Rises. To millions, this wasn't just about one man. It was about reclaiming Africa's dignity. But here's where it gets complicated. The Nobel Peace Prize Committee is based in Norway, a Western nation deeply tied to NATO and European politics. Awarding Traoré would mean acknowledging a man who openly fights against Western hegemony. So the question is, will the committee be brave enough to honor a leader who embodies real independence? Or will they continue to favor safer, Western-friendly choices? History suggests caution. Leaders like Congo's Patrice Lumumba or Burkina Faso's own Thomas Sankara were never considered. They were too radical, too dangerous for the status quo. Yet today, Africa's youth are louder, social media is stronger, and the world can't ignore Traoré's influence. the Nobel Committee finds itself in a no-win situation. Whether Traoré wins or not, the very idea of his nomination is historic. It signals a shift in how Africa is perceived. For centuries, African leaders were dismissed as weak, corrupt, or puppets of foreign powers. But Traoré, with his military cap and fearless speeches, has reignited the spirit of sovereignty once championed by Sankara, Nkrumah, and Lumumba. His name being mentioned for the Nobel Prize means Africa is no longer on the sidelines. The world is being forced to acknowledge Africa's new generation of leaders, and the fight for independence and dignity is back on the global agenda. Even if he never holds that golden medal, Traoré's story is already a victory for Africa. But wait, not everything is as it seems. Some analysts warn that a Nobel Prize nomination could also be a trap. By celebrating Traoré, the West might hope to moderate him, to tame his radical edge, to bring him closer into their system. Remember, the Nobel Prize is not just an award. It's also a way of creating leverage. Once you're seen as a global peace icon, any bold or aggressive moves later can be painted as hypocrisy. So, is the world truly recognizing Traoré or trying to control him? Only time will tell. Ibrahim Traoré may or may not win the Nobel Prize in 2025. But one thing is clear. His very presence on the global stage has already changed Africa's story. For the first time in decades, a young African leader is not begging for aid, not bowing to foreign powers, but standing tall and saying, Africa is not for sale. And whether or not Oslo recognizes him with a medal, millions across Africa have already awarded him something far greater, their trust, their pride, and their hope for the future. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.